Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby. What a dreadful weekend to be a South African rugby fan. It's tough out there. Springboks, Stormers out of Europe, Sharks into the Challenge Cup, Bulls into the Challenge Cup. It's tough out there. Aiden, what you saying?
Well, I'm not a South African fan, so I'm not as upset as you are. Some surprise results from the week, though. If watching it as a neutral, very entertaining. A little disappointing that some of the best games were on at the same time, particularly the Northampton Munster game and the Clermont Bristol game. Those are probably the best two games of the weekend, and you could only watch one. But, I mean, other than that, my first ever Champions Cup pool play comes to a close, and I've enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the knockouts that I only have to wait till April for.
Yeah. Jake, how are you doing? You can't be smiling too big. We'll speak about your team in a bit.
I'm good. Thank you, Mr. Casual. How are you?
I could be better. People, please do remember to like and subscribe. Go to these two guys' socials. This is our final fan forum.
I was going to say, I think I'm better than you because my team qualified for next round. I forgot to mention that, but yeah, you go ahead. Fan forum,
yeah. This is our final episode of the fan forum until the Six Nations, which is also just around the corner. When's the first game of the Six Nations?
31st of Jan. I think it's a Friday night game. France.
Okay,
Wales.
So yeah, they'll see you guys in like 2 weeks again. So it's not the end of the world. I think most people probably need a bit of a break from Jake. He's a bit of a drag.
Are you not going to do a prediction video next week?
A prediction video next week?
Six Nations.
Yeah, okay, fine. We'll just continue.
No breaks here, mate. We are consistent rugby content creators.
Exactly.
Okay, fair enough. We'll see you guys next week again. Anyway, we started off this weekend with a bang, right? We all said Ulster by about 8 points. They made life very, very tough for the Sharks by having a clinical performance against Exeter. That final 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, they just kind of blew Exeter out of the water. I did not expect a 28-point victory, but I mean, Exeter just stinking it out once again. Jake, you were live. The two of you guys were live during this game, right?
Yeah, so I was live, and I think Aiden joined me at some for parts of it. Yeah, it's crazy, wasn't it? Crazy game because they were like, that's like a 1.1 score game at 60 minutes, and then also Exeter just absolutely fell apart, shit the bed.
You have to say it nicely. Aiden, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think I don't remember how to say his last name properly, but Cormac Uzachukwu or something like that. He was exceptional. He's obviously, I think he's been called up into the Ireland squad for the Six Nations. He was a standout player. And no, look, Ulster just played really well in the last 20. It was a really exciting game up until sort of 60 minutes where they started pulling away. And, they scrapped through to the round of 16 qualification. So good on them.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair play to Ulster. Moving on, Bulls finally breaking through that slump. And yeah, you can have the caveat of it was Stade Francais, didn't send their strongest team. It's at altitude or whatever. But this was a must-win game for the Bulls. And they did it pretty well. I mean, Cameron Hanekom is an absolute dog. I don't know if you guys managed to watch this game, but he is unbelievable. I spoke to Brevan Herbst literally earlier today when we filmed for Saffas Unscripted, and we were like, on form, he's probably the best South African rugby player at the moment. Like, that guy is a serious talent. Like, we speak about, for instance, Henry Pollock, right? He's, 20, Jake?
Yeah, just turned 20.
Yeah, I think Cameron Hanekom is, 21, 22, which is ridiculous how talented he is as well. So yeah, the Bulls have a proper star there and doing it, getting the job done, and they'll probably just be looking forward to the URC now because they needed that victory going into 3 derbies. So yeah, top stuff by the Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, I was live for this game because Jake hadn't gotten out of bed yet. So, I mean, it was a thumping from, the first blow of the whistle. Bulls look good at home, as often they do. It's kind of hard to tell where to judge that performance off, considering, they've sent B and C teams to Europe, sort of binned off the Champions Cup. But, it's a good momentum starter for the derbies they have at home in the URC. So hopefully they can get the ball rolling.
Yeah,
But yeah,
they
it
need
was
to.
a one-sided affair for all 80 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, they
And
put a proper performance together. Yeah, Jake.
so this is just one of those games where nothing to do with the actual game, but why? It's one of the only games at the weekend was just sort of on its own, really. Like it didn't clash with another game at the same time, and
Yeah,
it's a nothing game, and it's in South Africa, so obviously it's quite hot. It's what 3 o'clock. It started in there, which is quite hot. Why did they not make it clash with a 5 o'clock game? And it's just stupid. You could have had a really big one on its own at 1 o'clock. I don't understand it.
yeah. Is there never games at 1 o'clock in Europe?
Oh, there
Because
are.
what I'm just thinking is like usually our games would be around three or five, and obviously we are 2 hours ahead of you, so that would be like the early kickoff for you. But for us, it doesn't clash with anything. That would be an early kickoff for us as well, because we usually do 5-7, and then yeah, that's basically it. Uh, this was a banger. Saints scraping over the line at the end against Munster. Did any of us predict a Munster victory? I can't even remember. But we,
Ball knowledge, ball knowledge from this group here.
yeah,
For
yeah, well, we're saying that until we get up till about the last 5 games, and then we just stank out.
Don't include me in this. I got most of them right. Anyway, yeah.
That's a lie. We'll see. We'll see. Jake, I'll give you the floor. What do you think about the Premiership boys getting it over the line against Munster?
I mean, this is definitely game of the weekend for me. Northampton were still missing quite a few big players, and you saw that Tom Seabrook get a hat trick against in that game. Whereas they're missing like George Hendy, Furbank, Slightholme, all their big starters really, or players in the squad, and they still did very well to get 34 points at home. It's what Northampton do. They're all out attack really. The defence has dropped off from last year, so they let Munster back in. But what about Henry Pollock off the bench? No, he had some introduction.
Yeah, no, he's a talent. He's very good. I mean, I saw a compilation of the guy. Like yesterday, I just opened up my TikTok and I just saw a compilation of his 20-minute involvements, and it's just like, yeah, okay, fair enough, fair play to the guy. Do you reckon he's not in? He's not in the England squad, is he? No, he didn't. He
No,
didn't make it.
no.
Oh, bro,
He'll get in the summer. He'll be in the summer.
like 100%.
Yeah.
He deserves it, bro. Those performances are classy. Like, do you think a 20-year-old is just playing some
He
of the
came
best
on.
rugby in the world?
It came against Munster. Did a try-saving tackle, like flipped him, and then he also gets the final turnover to win the game. So it was just like a crazy last, 15, 20 minutes he came on for.
Yeah.
What do you think, Aidan?
Yeah, I mean, 2 hat tricks in the games. One from Seabrook, one from Kelvin Nash as well. Mate, it was always a tight game. There was sort of never one team just pulling away. Sort of Munster did have a little comeback in, I think, what was it, the last 15 minutes to really push it. And obviously they had possession in the final plays of the game. And, it's one of those things that could have gone either way, but big turnover by Pollock. And it's a bold play. It's one of those ones that if he gets that wrong and is penalised for it, it was a pretty straightforward kick that you're thinking Crowley's probably going to knock over. So in another world, we're talking about a 1-point victory from Munster here. So it
Yeah.
was an
Well, you've
exceptional
got to
game.
back yourself in the end, right? Like you just backed
Yeah,
yourself to get it done.
exactly. And I'm so disappointed that this game was at the same time as Clermont Bears, the next game.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
the thing as well is like this is massive for Saints because now, come April, most of their injured players will be back as well, right? So they're going into the main round with Hendy back, who's a great impact player off the bench, Furbank back, Slider back. So yeah, I mean they'd feel pretty good about that one. Aiden, I'll give you the floor, seeing that you've brought it up twice. Clermont versus Bristol. We all
Yeah,
predicted Clermont to do it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I would just like to officially retract my statement that I said Bristol Bears will be dark horses. Holy shit, that is bite me in the ass.
Yeah, as I said, like this game was excellent, but I only saw, a few minute patches of it because I was obviously watching uh, Northampton versus Munster, but I swapped over because Jake was watching the Northampton game, and I thought, okay, I'd watch the other one, and we'd sort of both commentate on the live at the same time. And the finish was ridiculous. They were both tied score past 80 minutes. Clermont was on the attack in the red. They got turned over by Bristol, who almost ran the length of the field it scored at the other end. Then that got turned over clean, and then they worked their way all the way back from probably 50 meters to the try line. And then there was a sort of a pick and go try by the lock that got it done. It was at 86 and a half minutes or something. It was absurd. It was brilliant. I wish I got to see the whole thing, but from what I did see, second best game of the weekend, maybe the best one if I was watching the whole game. And yeah, the French teams at home, man, they're
they absolutely cooked this weekend. Like, we'll talk about the rest of them as well, but like Clermont, we've spoke about how impressive they are, and we've said that Bristol have kind of just been stinking it out a bit. But this would have been a massive victory for them, but obviously worked out in Clermont's favour. So, Jake, did you manage to watch this one?
No, I was on the live watching Northampton Munster. So then Aidan turned over and gave commentary mid, I think, spicy bucket for one. Yeah, it was it sounded exciting from what I heard, and obviously Northampton will take on Clermont at home in Northampton in the next round. So it's a exciting matchup.
I would have wanted to see that one in France. Like, I'd probably back Saints in that one, but I think to make it interesting, getting those French crowds into it, because like Aidan, you mentioned it on the WhatsApp group, dude, they are crazy. They are crazy. I'd love to go watch a game in France. Just see the spiciness of it all.
Can I just say, 6 of the 8 games in the next round are in France, so we need one in England or URC.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jake, I'm coming straight to you. I'll give you the floor because you went on a lovely little rant about this game. Leinster beating Bath 47 points to 21 after Bath had a halftime lead. RG Snyman, he's a monster.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I just want to say quickly it was 5 for the next 8 games because someone in the comment go, it's 5. But yeah, Leinster.
Jake had to say that because every single video, this guy battles people in the comment section. Like, just randomly, I'd be laying in bed and I'd be like, well, here's a notification. It's just Jake fighting off everyone in the comments, not letting anything stand.
Stop getting these notifications. I'm busy. But anyway, yeah, that ref was horrendous. I'm sorry, that was horrendous refereeing. I've got a load of shit from it on a TikTok I made about it, but I think it hit the Leinsters for you pages really. I mean, there was one way, there was an advantage and they kicked it, and I thought that'd be advantage over, but it goes out and he calls it back, and then he lets a quick tap at another situation, a quick tap go, as he told the team to have a chat about a yellow card warning.
Yeah.
And then obviously the big one is the second yellow for Beno Obano for a clapped scrum, which I think the way referees refed the scrums are silly in general, and especially in this game. You can argue about the warning and Obano going down, sure, and the manager in the 1 minute between the warning didn't take him off or whatever, but I just think the way ref scrums are ridiculous.
Well, let's not beat around the bush. Leinster absolutely smashed Bath at scrum time, right? Mm-hmm. But you're already giving them an advantage and the penalty if they don't do anything with the advantage.
Exactly.
Like South Africans, we have got other players sent off because of scrums and stuff because it's like tough to match up with us. I hate it. I hate that the fact that you can't hold another guy's body weight because he's just stronger and better at you at scrumming. You don't deserve to be sent off at all. Like, that's just utterly ridiculous. That has to be scrapped. Get that rule out of here. Like, it's not a discipline.
I'm all for scrums, but like, I think scrum penalties are harsh enough, really. But the collapse in the scrum when you can't even, it's not even, you're not doing it on purpose. It's not like you're on the 5 metre line. It's a halfway line. It might be a Bath putting because the ref got in the way of the line out, which Leinster lost. So the ref's fucked up already. I just don't understand it. And also Ben O'Barno started, so you could even ask them to make the sub and get, a stronger prop. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
It would have been different if it was like a bunch of technical penalties that he just kept on doing something that was like illegal. But that's like sending a guy off for missing tackles the whole time. Like, I mean, you just couldn't cope. Anyway, Aiden, what did you think about the game? Because, like, even though you're talking about the ref, right? 26 beatdown is still a healthy margin.
Yeah, I think we got to be clear here. While I don't think any of us agree with the referee's decisions throughout the game, it was an atrocious display of refereeing. It wouldn't have affected the result. Leinster with a better team, 100%, would have won the game. It does make a big difference when, you go down to 14 men at 55, 60 minutes. But, the Leinster bench
didn't make a big difference in the World Cup final. You guys played even better then.
You can't say that. You can't say.
I can say whatever I want to, Jake.
No, not you. I mean, Aiden saying you can't say it won't affect the result. They were it was like a 5-point game or something at the time.
Yeah, you think, okay, but think about it this way. Like, look at the people they're bringing on from the bench. You're bringing on Caelan Doris, Archie Snyman.
I agree. Like, Leinster are clearly the favourites at home. They got a way better team. They were playing better, but like, there's 20 minutes left. They're like 80% chance of winning the game, and once you get a yellow card, it's like 98%. It just ruined any chance Bath had, and that's them out of the tournament potentially because of a ridiculous refereeing performance.
They are out of the tournament.
That's what I mean. Like,
they were also a dark horse shot, and they also gone. Them and Bristol. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, okay, fair enough. You don't know what would have happened if they had 15 men for the rest of the game. I think a betting man would still say Leinster would have won the game. They were looking the better team at the time. But, if buts and maybes. Yeah, I mean, we got to have some sort of accountability with calls like this, I think. It's not great coming on and, slagging off a ref. Nobody likes to do it, but it's, there has to be some form of accountability that we can all look at and go, that was wrong.
Yeah.
Just to talk about the game a bit. I mean, Bath had a great start, didn't they? The two quick tries, but I thought Robbie Henshaw had a great game for what's it team Leinster, and someone else. You guys say it, but and I thought the Abano first yellow was correctly a yellow, not a red. Don't you guys?
Yeah, it was a yellow, 100%. It's a mitigating factor. He completely changed directions. He almost missed him.
I've seen a few comments say it should be red.
Yeah, no.
We've seen enough reds in this tournament.
From Stade Francais alone.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Well done to Leinster. I don't want to take anything away from Leinster. Like, Bath is still a proper team. To beat them by 26 points. Yeah, you got to be a decent team to do that as well. Shock of the weekend, would we say, boys? 32 points to 25. I told you guys, if Benetton will struggle twice against Zebre. They'll draw against the Scarlets, but then they'll beat Bath and they'll beat La Rochelle. Make it make sense. Like, this
Benetton might be the Argentina of the URC and a Champions Cup.
Oh, dude, it is so crazy to me. Like, I just don't understand it.
They're class players.
They've got a good team. It's like most Italy.
Jake, this is the team, right? That arguably were the better team against Leinster. That should have beat Leinster, and they just beat. Benetton just beat them.
I don't know if you watched any of this game. I switched over in the last 20 minutes because I boycotted that Leinster Bath last 20 minutes. But it was Benetton's defence which won on the game. They held out for like a good 5-10 minutes against La Rochelle, and they were phenomenal. Like the Canone brothers, especially, were really good. Lorenzo Canone, the younger one, got man of the match, and their defence was just brilliant. And it was fantastic to see like an Italian team qualifying and get a home tie. Oh no, they haven't got a home tie, but still do really well.
Did any of us think Benetton has even the slightest of chances in this group of qualifying?
Yeah.
Don't start lying.
I didn't really understand the qualification system at the beginning, so I couldn't really tell you. But
No, but Jake is
Penny
talking out of
Tune.
his absolute arse over here. You're
I'm
not telling
not.
me that he knew Benetton's gonna place above Bristol, Bath,
And
Yeah,
Bath.
yeah. I think there's a good chance to beat Bristol because Bristol always do this every year and capitulate.
Well,
I don't think I've
their
picked them
injuries.
Seattle, but they're a good team.
Yeah, they are a good team. Well, to some extent, they can be the greatest team in the world, and they might just lose to Zebra. That's basically Benetton for you summed up. Even though they don't lose to Zebra, but still. Racing beat the Stormers 31-22. Harlequins took on Glasgow.
Yeah, good chat.
Yeah, good
Nolan Lagarek masterclass, pretty much.
Yeah, that guy was absolute. We've talked about Dupont's obviously he's the number one, right? And then we've spoke about Baptiste Seren, and then obviously Luku is always there. And Legarek has just said, like, don't forget about me. There's a reason that I was the number two in the Six Nations. And then he switched over to number one. That guy just ran the show. Like, seriously. I think truly, I thought the Stormers will get this one done until I saw our team announcement. And I thought, listen, okay, yeah, we're shitting the bed on this one. Definitely. And we did. And Joshua Tuisova, he probably broke Jean-Luc du Plessis in half. I've never seen one player miss so many tackles on one player in my life. How shocking.
Tuisova is a terrifying human being, though. He's
of
like
course.
a moving
But
brick
how
wall.
shocking was our defense? How many tackles did we miss?
Yeah.
It was blasphemous.
I mean, Racing have such a good team when they actually play all of them. I mean, them not qualifying is weird to me. But anyways, obviously they had Farrell playing as well, which is yay, go England.
I think that's why.
Yay, go England.
Lagarek only played well because Farrell was outside him.
Sure, Jake.
Anyways, we'll move on.
I thought Legarek played even better when Farrell went off. That replacement that came on, I don't know who that guy is. He's got like a left foot. He was bloody good when he came on. I wouldn't even play Farrell again.
Yeah, I mean, Farrell's just retire or just play for money is what it is now.
Yeah. No, but the big thing for me with the Stormers was the lineout, our own lineouts, losing every single one of them. I think we had like 30% lineout success rate. Ridiculous. The defense, obviously. And then the decision making, like how do you dominate the first 10 minutes? You haven't even tried out your lineout. You're on the corner and you kick for goal instead of going for the points while we need to get a bonus point. Same with at the end of the game. We are in the corner 50 meters out. We go for goal instead of using all the momentum that we had to go for touch. Just brain farts everywhere.
Yeah.
In the Stormers. Yeah. Let's just move on. Harlequins versus Glasgow. I asked this question earlier. I asked it on TikTok and on Saffas Unscripted. Is Glasgow now just homegrown bullies?
I just think they're just clearly not the same team without Tuipolotu. It is ridiculous how much of a difference he makes in defence, particularly. He clearly runs the show there.
Yeah.
And when
how
they don't
sad
have...
is it for the Scots now going into the Six Nations knowing that he isn't there as well?
Yeah, but he's the best player in their team. He's more influential than Finn Russell. The way he controls the defense and attack because he takes pressure off the 10. Sorry, Scotland, I think you're buggered now because he was your best shot. And Glasgow are going to miss him, so I don't know if he'll be back for any of the...
and he's the captain as well, right? So
yeah.
Jake,
will he be back for the Champions Cup knockouts? I don't know.
Jake, what's your thoughts on Tuipolotu being out and also the Glasgow loss? My bad. It's been a long day.
I called it. Harlequins win. I've called it. And see, I'm just a rugby genius, quite clearly. Is Tuipolotu like
you called the Stormers victory though, so
know what I'm talking about.
I think
I
think Tuipulotu is that big of a difference. I think like the structure he brings to the defense is the noticeable thing for me. To be fair, the Harlequins are kind of like Benetton that where Casual was just saying is they could beat like prime 2015 All Blacks one day and then lose to, a school under 15 team the next day. I feel like their fluctuation of skill is ridiculous. They turned up, Glasgow didn't play very well, and they were punished.
Yeah. But it was sort of do Harlequins do. They just show up at home, Saturday night lights, and they just blow teams away on their day. And then sometimes they're just so mid. It's crazy. But yeah, they can do this, and they've done it.
Yeah. Jake, do you want to continue with Sharks getting out of the block quickly? 12 points to 0, 10 minutes in. And I think that was kind of the biggest mistake that they could have made, because that just woke up this monster in Bordeaux, and they put 66 unanswered points on the Sharks. That is fucking crazy. Damien Penaud doesn't score 1 or 2 or even a hat-trick. Scores 6 tries.
Double hat-trick.
That is, like, I don't even know how to put it into words. I was so shocked. At a point in the predictions, I actually said the Sharks will lose by 9 points. I changed it to 19.
I'm going to have to make a confession here. This is confession time. I'm a very bad rugby content creator. I have not watched any of the games yet from Sunday.
Well, you can guess what happens.
I can guess what happened, but I don't know what happened in the Sarries one, the Toulouse one.
You didn't watch your own game?
No, I was busy.
What were you busy doing?
Oh, well, I played basketball.
That's a lie. You can't run.
Well, I wasn't really running. I was more falling over. But this is confession time. I did prioritise my fitness, and I went gym as well, and met up with friends who I've not seen for a while.
Anyways, moving on from that.
You have a date as well, because you always have a date.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have a date.
You cycle through them. You've got a roster for sure.
He was on a basketball date. She did a couple of crossovers, and he
broke his ankles.
I'm just gonna say you're gonna have to explain what happened in these games.
All right. Well, what happened is Damien Penaud said, "Fuck it, let me ball," and scored 6 tries. And the Sharks went, well, shit, fair enough, and got absolutely thumped. The Sarries.
Right, just going back to Bordeaux. I do remember saying, and you I'm sure it was you, Aidan. I said Damien Penaud is, best winger in the world or top 2 with maybe Colby, and you gave me a lot of shit for that, saying no, Mark Tilleur or someone.
When did I say that? What, like 3 months?
We
ago?
all know Damien Penaud is a top winger in the world. You might have said he's the best, and then he said no, he's not the best. But
yeah,
he's close,
and he's playing for one of the best club sides versus one of the best club sides when they play at home, but then send out their teenagers when they play overseas.
But for the Sharks, to be fair, it's not that they played a rotated team. It's that they have that many injuries at the moment. So I'll give them a little bit of grace on that, because that was probably the strongest team that they could have fielded. Because I think they had 3 or 4 injuries in the Toulouse game.
I'm confused about is for a country with huge fucking human beings, like you South Africans are massive. What are you made of? Like Weet-Bix? You guys keep getting broken. All of your teams have an injury.
We don't
crisis.
need to have this conversation again about a never-ending season, right? Do we?
You guys must be made of Weet-Bix, man, because you guys have
I do blame a lot of the medical staff and stuff when it comes to some of this stuff. But yeah, Bordeaux to still beat a Sharks team with the big names and stuff. Obviously when it was 12-0, I was like, oh wow. Because I spoke about the Sharks, when there's something to play for, they might just show up. And I was like, so they are going to get their 4 tries. So to score 2 tries within the first 10 minutes is obviously massive. Just stinks it out rest of the time. They hardly had any opportunities to score any other points. That's what's crazy. But yeah, 66 points to 12. Penaud has now equaled the record of Ashton for the most tries in a single Champions Cup, 10, is in run of 16 now. He's from like round of 16, quarterfinal, semi-final, and final if they get there.
Yeah, they got Ulster. he's gonna get another 10.
Yeah.
Just another 69 point victory. Oh my.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's move on. Let's move on
to
to let's quickly move on, right? Because we've got 6 minutes and 20 seconds left of this recording. Jake, your team lost to Cast, who you said only performs at home. It does look like Cast only performed at home until they
with
play
a
a
B
shit
team
team like
too.
Saris.
They won with the B team. Cast won with the B team.
Yeah, I saw the results coming in. I just couldn't believe what I was looking at on my phone.
Jake just used his little date night,
Ruined my Super Brew
basketball
prediction.
date night, as an excuse not to talk about this game. Actually, he was watching
Let's
this
just
game.
move on. Nobody cares about Saris anyway. So
Yeah, fair enough. But well done to Cast, right? Like, all jokes aside, none of us expected this to happen. None of us expected that. Like,
sorry, this loss is like they could have finished second, Saracens, and had home tie against Benetton, and now they got to go away to Toulon. Oh my god, that is bottling it. Oh no,
you would have lost to Benetton. I back you against Toulon because you might be in the same WhatsApp group as Harlequins and Benetton.
I back us against Toulon, to be honest. I think that's the best top seeded team you could have got, Toulon or Northampton. I'll take Toulon.
Okay,
I might go to that. I'll go fly to Toulon.
Toulouse actually wiped the floor, wiped their own asshole with the Tigers.
yeah, I'll remember that we had this discussion obviously before the round, and you guys were like, it's not going to be, it's going to be a Toulouse victory, and you guys were sort of the 15 to 19 point range. I sat here and said it's going to be 45 points.
I said 24 points. Put some respect
24.
on that.
I said 45. I felt bad, and I got laughed at. They lost by 68 points. I didn't give it enough. I changed my prediction on Super Brew. I actually upped it in the week. I put it to 55, and I went, "Oh, it's a bit harsh. I'll lower it down to 41." And then,
Bro, if you look at the team that the Tigers put out, you don't expect something like this.
No.
Like,
what is wrong with
full
the Tigers?
strength?
Yeah,
it's dreadful.
They were 42-0 down at halftime.
You know what? Leicester done this a couple of times, though. You don't know what Leicester team are going to turn up. Like, they got smashed by Bristol one week in the Premiership, and then, they just sort of clawed away and get a couple of wins the week after, like sort of horrible games like against Bordeaux, where they're difficult to beat. And then they're just sometimes they put in this performance to get absolutely smashed and destroyed. It's like, what is going on? This is Michael Checker ball, this.
Yeah. Anyways, there's not much to say about it. Let's just go to the last game.
Yeah, but Aiden, I feel like you have to put your respect on Dupont's name after that performance.
Yeah, he played brilliantly.
For once, like the people have been telling you delusional for never giving him any credit. You finally seen him play brilliantly now.
He said Dupont shouldn't be in the French squad. It should be Saran instead of Dupont.
No, I didn't.
No, he didn't.
This is putting words in my mouth.
Said that, Jake. You're an absolute liar.
Absolute wash. You didn't even watch the games. You can't comment. You're not a real fan. Yeah, he was brilliant. I don't think he's a bad player, obviously. God.
No,
I can recognize when someone's good.
No, he was absolutely insane. And Jack Willis, a monster. Ange Capuazzo just eat gaps like it's fun and games. Final game, AJ Bell bullies, gets it done against Toulon. This
is a preview of the round of 16 Saracens versus Toulon. Toulon will be down once again, but yes, go ahead.
I feel ashamed that a team that we beat 40-0 has managed to place third, and my team places dead last. Are you kidding me? We arguably should have beat Toulon. We arguably should have beat Racing. We should have never beat Harlequins. But wow, so we end up sixth. I get no bragging rights after this bloody team.
And you're the only South African team who's finished bottom, aren't you? Like, that's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, but we wouldn't lose to Cast at home.
No, you lose home and away. Anyway, yeah, talk about Cell Toulon. What happened?
Cell won.
It was 0-0.
But Was it Ben Curry? Puts in a little grubber, darts past everyone, and scores. I was like, I've been shaming the Curries. This has been a horrible weekend for my predictions, everything that I've said, right? Because the Curries just come out and just play an absolute worldie against Toulon, who's no easy feat. Just makes it look easy.
Wasn't
Aiden,
a full strength Toulon. I'll say that. Wasn't a full
I
strength
don't really
Toulon.
care, right? Because it's
It was
still
most of it, wasn't it? It was mostly full strength.
Well, Saron wasn't playing.
One player.
That's how he's judging it because we don't know enough
Yeah,
about the Toulon teams. He's like,
they got Scottish stars in Ben White.
No, Leicester Fainga'anuku, because I've worked out why he's not playing now. He's got a hand injury. I didn't know that. So no him. Some other players that are probably missing that I don't know.
Anyway, listen, we've got a couple of seconds left. That was it. Everyone, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Go and follow Aiden and, well, just Aiden on TikTok. Maybe
Go
you'll
argue with him
Jake.
in the comments.
Yeah. You'll see Jake in the comments. Just keep on talking your shit, team.
But
everyone,
Aiden
we do
pointing the
appreciate
wrong
you
way.
guys, and bye-bye.